I had a dream last night. A vision. I saw a world full of people. Everybody was dancing and screaming loud. They were just there to listen to the music. It was deep. It was underground. I want to be in that moment.
Are you guys ready for a state of trance? Put your hands in the air, come on!
Be in the moment, be in the moment, be in the moment, be in the moment, be in the moment.
Your weekly update on the latest in trance and progressive. This is a State of Trance with Armin van Buuren.
With lots of world premieres this week, the new Gareth Emery, Cosmic Gate, Mark Sixma, music from the new Protoculture album, Chris Schweizer teamed up with Roxanne Emery, and news about A State of Trance live from Tomorrowland. And very special guest, Solarstone, promoting his brand new album. But it seems very surreal to start off with this news, the news we heard last week, especially since two band members of Fatum were here last week. Last weekend, the news reached us that Bill Hamill has passed away. He was one of the founding members of Fatum, and he also created countless of amazing solo singles in his career. After receiving the news, we've been in touch with the three remaining band members, Daniel, Bruce and Chad, and they wanted to honor his legacy by playing Bill's Grammy-nominated remix for Seal. On behalf of the whole State of Trance team here, we want to wish Bill's family and friends strength, and as a bit of a salute, thank you for all your great music, Bill Hamill. Here's your remix of Seal, Amazing.
Hey guys, this is Omnia and you are listening to my new track, In a State of Trance.
In trance and progressive, this is a state of trance.
comes down, daylight leaves the earth. Right where we are is where we heal our hurts. As we gather round, day turns into night. We will make more sound, no one's alone tonight. We will light up the sky, 'cause it's our turn. We are larger than life. We'll start a fire and watch it burn. We are larger than life. Whoa, whoa. When we all decide we should all unite, we'll be larger than life. We'll be larger than life. We'll be larger than life. We are larger than we will light up the sky, 'cause it's our turn. We are larger than life. We'll start a fire and watch it burn. We are larger than life. Whoa, whoa. When we all decide we should all unite.
A State of Trance, Larger Than Life, by our own Ruben de Ronde. Is that because you are larger than life, my friend?
I'm taller than life, maybe. Not large.
A track Ruben and Rog did together with Sir Notch, remixed by 11, a brand new act from LA, Sky and SNR. The release on Statement. Track before that, Milady and Scolario, Recursion on Interplay. And Ben Gold with Omnia, brand new one called The Conquest. Welcome to a freshly squeezed episode of A State of Trance. I'm Armin van Buuren in the studio with Ruben de Ronde. And before we start off, I want to give a big shout out to one of the team members of A State of Trance, Ramon Kagi. He's one of the guys helping us with the video every week. And he graduated this week,
Yes,
so congratulations. And if you didn't already, make sure you join the video stream on YouTube, facebook.com/Armin van Buuren, and join the conversation online. We'd love to hear from you. The hashtag ASOT871. And this week sees the release of a brand new album.
A state of trance.
If everything goes well, on the phone right now from South African, Nate Raubenheimer, aka Protoculture. How you doing, man?
All right, man. Good to hear you.
Yeah, good to hear from you. Finally, a follow-up to Music is More Than Mathematics, right?
Yeah. I've been working on this one for a little while now, so I'm glad to have it out. What's the talk to it?
What's the meaning behind the title of the album, Versiform?
The Versiform's kind of like a shapeshifter, you know, and I've been quite a versatile producer as well. And I think, you know, the album with a part 2 is going to be kind of like a shapeshift from the part 1, you know, it's going to be a slightly different kind of style in the second part.
Okay, you split the release, your new album, into 2 parts. What can we expect on the second part?
Well, the second one, you know, I kind of feel that it's going to be a little bit more on the underground side of things, you know, a little bit harder, more darker kind of whereas the first part is kind of the more melodic, progressive stuff that I've been working on the last year.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of split them, stylistically kind of differently between the two different albums.
And Protoculture is not the only project that you're working on, right?
No, I'm actually in the studio right now working on new Shadow Chronic material as well. Well.
And is that your Psy project?
Yeah, my side project, yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, man. We're looking forward to the release. Congratulations on Versiform. It's out this week. And I'm going to play your track with Sue McLaren, Superhuman. And send my love to South Africa, okay? Will you, Nate?
I will do, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Here it is on A State of Trance. Superhuman.
Mind over matter. Watch this mountain move. I walk on water. If I say I could. Slowly close inside me and you. In time we become superhuman too.
Hey guys, this is Gareth Emery and this is my new single on A State of Trance.
Taking over the light now. All there is to be said has been said. Let the walls fall, let the shadows disappear. Let our story start from this moment here. This is a call to arms, this is a call to arms, you know. This is a call to arms, this is a call to arms, you know. you know. This is a call to arms, this is a call to arms, you know. This is a call to arms, this is a call to arms, you know.
World premiere of the brand new Gareth Emery with Evan Henze, Call to Arms on his label Garuda Recordings. Track before that, taken from Versiform Part 1, Protoculture teamed up with Sue McLaren for the track called Superhuman. You're listening to A State of Trance, and if you're watching the video stream, you can see myself and Ruben are now wearing the brand new Blah Blah t-shirts. After last week's contest for the jacket, I noticed a lot of you out there would love to own that merchandise. Well, it's very simple, a little shameless self-promotion. Check arminvanbuuren.com for more info. So many exciting stuff this week. Busy summer, lots of releases. Next week, big news about the State of Trance Ibiza 2018. And in just a bit, Solar Stone. But first, Alpha 9's mix of Shivers.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Cosmic Gate.
And you're listening to our new single on A State of Trance.
record of this week's show. This is the tune of the week.
this is Mark Sixma, and you're listening to my new track on A State of Trance.
Festival season is upon us. This weekend I'm playing Ultra Europe and festival in Romania, going to Austria for Electric Love, can't wait. So a lot of DJs are dropping their big tracks right now. World premiere and tune of the week, Mark Sixma, Sphere. Right after another world premiere, Cosmic Gate's new one called Yeah. And a lot of fantastic albums have been released this month as well. Earlier this month we had Esteva's Spectacle album, Super 8 and Tap had Reformation, and we just had Protoculture on the phone to talk about Versiform. And a few weeks back, this guest released his latest long player. And you have to be good at Morse code. Right now, live on A State of Trance. If you read carefully and you know something about Morse code, you know the album's actually called 2. And we're gonna ask him all about it, but right after the music, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Solar Stone! You're listening to A State of Trance, and he just released his brand new artist album. It's called 2. That's an essential listen, if you ask me. And live now in the studio, this is Solar Stone.
this pain away. Come to me, for you know I need help. I know now that I don't have a chance without you. I've no doubt I couldn't make it home. I need you. I want you.
What an incredible track. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Solar Stone! Rich, come to the mic, man.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back to the studio. What an amazing track. And the one before and the one before that. What did you play for us?
The first one was Motif from the new album. The last one was a track with Tia Riley called I Want You Here, also from the album. And I was going to play 3 tracks from the album, but I've just signed the most amazing record, which is the second one. And this is the track by Suzanne Chesterton, David Forbes and Richard Lowe called Orion.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah, beautiful. So I wanted to play that as well.
It's out this week, his brand new album. Was it out this week or last week?
It came out a month ago.
A month ago. The album is called 2 in Morse code.
Yeah, exactly.
So is the album 3 in Morse code again?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but yeah.
How was your stage at Luminosity this weekend?
Hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was amazing. I mean, you know, I recorded the whole thing 11 and a half hours. It was just, the weather was incredible, wasn't it?
It was.
It was the best Lumi ever, I think.
But more importantly, how was the music? How was the atmosphere?
Fantastic. We brought, we had a couple of debuts, world debuts. We had Christina Sky, came over from LA.
Oh, wow.
And she's done so much for trance in America.
She's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
She played second and she was just amazing. And we also had Peter Steele, who released Mantra. And it was his first gig as well. So there were a lot of like butterflies, you know, a lot of nerves. But they all did brilliantly. And then we had the Interstellar, which is Neptune Project and Noble Six. It was their kind of like world exclusive debut as well. And that was pretty awesome. And Factor B closed for us. And Giuseppe and
of course.
Guy Barone, of course.
Yes.
So it was amazing, man. It was just the weather, wasn't it? It was the weather.
Yeah, this was unbelievable for Holland, actually. Hey, more importantly, your new album. It's called 2. It's out, a month ago. Are you going to be touring to promote it? Are you going to do anything special?
Well, I'm constantly touring. And everything I do is special.
Yeah, of course. But I'm really looking forward to hear more music from you, man. Will you join us at ADE again? We're doing a special
it's
ASAP.
going to be our 6th or 7th. Is it 6th or 7th in a row? We're doing a big show on my birthday, 20th of October.
There you go.
At, I don't remember the name of the venue now.
We're just all in Amsterdam to celebrate your birthday, Rich.
I would live here, you know. I would love to live in the Netherlands.
Yes.
But one day I think maybe I'll move here.
Good luck with the release of 2, your brand new album by Solar Stone. And hope to see you again soon, buddy. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Solar Stone one more time.
This music can take you to another world. We want to hear why a track means so much to you. Here is this week's Service for Dreamers.
Always one of my favorite parts of the show. Service for Dreamers. 4 visitors that came all the way from Australia. Of course, they're enjoying a little bit of Europe. Welcome, Rodman. How can we service you, my friend?
Armin, first off, thank you so much for having us. It's beyond words. I can't believe we're here right now. But I wanted to share my story. Me and my friends are just traveling Europe. And
where are you from in Australia?
Sydney.
Sydney.
All the way from Sydney, long way from home. So we're here. I got in touch with you guys. I wanted to share my story. The track you're hearing in the background. I mean, this story behind it. I mean, should I share the story? It's pretty
Yeah,
much,
absolutely.
When I was a kid, I was 9 years old. I had a big bike crash. I was in a coma for like 15 hours.
What?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty serious. And pretty much the percentage, I guess the likelihood of surviving and not being, I guess, a vegetable was 33%. So I miraculously, it was one of those against all odds type things, and I made it through. And when I was in hospital, this one song, Angel Falls, Dad had to go to all the music stores and he found a compilation disc that had this song, and nothing would cheer me up more than hearing this. My cousin lent me the Discman. I'd have it on repeat all day long, and nothing would put a smile on my face more than this song. It's
and
crazy.
it's still to this day.
Still to this day.
Because it's a tune that will be celebrating its 20th birthday next year.
Yeah, wow.
And here it is, especially for you, for Rodman. Thanks for coming to the studio.
Thank you so much.
Ayla, Angel Falls. All the way from Sydney, Australia, Rodman Ramezanian. That's it. He requested this story by email, and he's here in the studio visiting us. Told us a wonderful story how this tune reminded him of a dark period, but made him happy in his life. If you want to ever come to the studio in Amsterdam, if you have an incredible story like this one, Armin at astateoftrance.com is the email address. Don't forget to put Service for Dreamers in the subject line. We'll be right back with hour number 2. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of A State of Trance. Live from Amsterdam in audio and video. Here's your host, Armin van Buuren. Non-stop in the mix.
With some big new music coming up. Chris Schweizer, Marcus Schultz, Coast to Coast Home in a brand new remix, and a very cool Psytrance remix by a big classic by Niels van Gogh. Term, remember that one? But first, Jennifer Renee, great to hear from her again. Looks like she teamed up with a brand new artist I've never heard from before. But check it out. Here is Dryval and Jennifer Renee, I Got You.
They don't understand what love is meant for. They don't understand we're all we need.
Trance with Ruben Durant and Armin van Buuren. week's episode. This is the Future Favorite.
and Roxanne Emery, Under the Lights. New release on my label, Who's Afraid of 138. Track before that was the future favorite, voted the hottest track of last week's episode. Kirian M. Sayev, Somber, what a great track on Vibrate Recordings. 22.6% of the votes got that track, said it was the best one of last week. Please do me a favor, vote this week as well. Head over to stateoftrance.com. Vote for your favorite track of the 2 hours of State of Trance. Now, as promised, I have some big news. Last year, we took the State of Trance studio to the Festival of Festivals for the very first time. We broadcasted from Tomorrowland in Belgium. And this year, on Friday, the 27th of July, we are back at Tomorrowland. We'll bring a State of Trance stage to you through audio and video. And this week, the timetable got announced. So if you want to know what time your favorite artist is playing on the State of Trance stage, head over to astateoftrance.com. Ruben, you have the lineup.
Yeah, we're going to be joined by Andrew Rayel, Armin van Buuren, of course. Ben Nicky will close everything off. Our friends, Cosmic Gate, David Gravel, Estival will open, Marlo from Australia, myself, Ruben on the Super 8 and Tap, and Vini Vici.
So, as again in your schedule, Friday the 27th of July, a State of Trance live from Tomorrowland. Serious Hands in the Air tune. Put them up for Dobbenberg presents Remark. This is Counter-Strike.
Hey guys, this is Shinovi and you're listening to my new track on the State of Trance.
State of Trance. Be in the moment.
You know, Ruben, I think we should get those tune signs. Remember from the Gatecrasher days? Something was a tune.
I was singing along with this as well.
I will hold it up with this one. It caused the biggest reaction on social media when we played it last week on the show, and we totally understand that. Flawless remix by Giuseppe Ottaviani of Marcus Schulz and Emma Hewitt, Safe From Harm. Before that, what a great release by Maywave on Alter Ego. We like it like that. The track is called Voyager. Also played you a couple of reworks. Neil Van Gogh, Pulverterm. Surprising rework by Shinobi and Travel Bulgarian. Originally released in '98. And this was a new remix by Binary Finery. And we love getting emails from you. You know, whether you want to share your story. Maybe you have a request for my sets this weekend. I'm playing Ultra Europe, Never See, Romania. I'm going to Electric Love in Salzburg. If you have any requests for any of my sets, Armin at astateoftrance.com. I always check them before I go on stage. And then I put the date and the event in the subject line. And Ruben, you found some really cool emails too.
Yes, Sapir Israilov in Philadelphia wishes her sister Ellie a happy birthday.
And happy 19th birthday to Jose Emanuel from Mexico City. He's going to play a set for his family this weekend, so good luck.
Good luck with that. Thank you for your email, Carlet Barbino and Victor Cross from Sweden. Both of them just got a State of Trance tattoo this week. So that's awesome.
Pictures, we want to see pictures. Happy birthday to Vigaudas in Lithuania from your son Dominicas.
And Ior Kulic shouts out a happy birthday to his wife Liuba and a happy anniversary to Tibi and Krista Kiss in Romania.
And last but not least, happy birthday to Norman Gross in Washington DC and Kenneth Cronin in Belgium. Thank you for all your great messages. Armin at astateoftrance.com. Back to the music. Christina Novelli teamed up with Haka for Worlds Collide. And this week, the remix by Chris Metcalf here on A State of Trance. Turn it up.
Now we won't come down. Can you hear us call? Feel the motion all around. Yeah, I feel I could kill like a supernova, tearing up the sky so high. Just take my hand, we'll make it out alive. Feel the burn now, feel the fire. We will collide. We will collide.
Been playing this mashup in my sets for a while. Militia, Take Me There, and Great Spirits. A little bit of Chakra by W&W and Vini Vici and Highlight Tribe. Also played you Renea Blaze and Misha Helsloot, External Notification. And a new version by Rudaz of the classic of the year 2000, Coast to Coast Home. Actually got a cool email from Brian Frey from Germany. He sets up, what's up with Militia? Who are behind the project? At least 2 people, he writes, because Luke Bond is also wondering about them. And on Facebook, he talked about 2 people. Maybe you can tell us about Militia on the next State of Trance episode. But we don't know, do we?
It's a secret.
It's a secret. It's
very much of a secret.
Do you know it?
I know it, but I'm not allowed to. I mean,
come on.
No, I'm gonna tell anything. I also have an email here from Ior from the Ukraine. Are you going to produce a High Ibiza 2018 compilation?
Well, big news. I just finished mixing a State of Trance High Ibiza 2018 double disc, which will come out on August 10th. And next week, I'm going to play you the very first tracks from it, including a new track I did with Vini Vici. Hey. It's a summer season, the busiest season of the year for me. Festival season is about to kick off. Very busy July month for myself. 18 announced gigs. This weekend you can find me in Tallinn in Estonia for the Oil Summer Festival. On Friday I'll be in Austria for Electric Love. Never See Festival in Romania, Constanta, coming for you on Saturday. And Sunday, close down the main stage at Ultra Europe in Croatia. Can't wait to see you on the dance floor. And of course, every Wednesday you can find me in Ibiza Club High, and I've asked one of my heroes to play with me, no other than Dr. Alex Patterson from The Orb, and I'm probably
this
the biggest
something special for you.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be like the first one in line.
I swear I have every The Orb CD. I have them, and there's a lot. Cosmic Gate will also join me. You can also find my full schedule on arminvanbuuren.com. Ruben, where will you be this weekend?
I'll be going to Montreal, Canada. Montreal for the A-Music Festival on Saturday.
Cool. Again, if you want to see where you can find these t-shirts, because we get a lot of emails about them, the blah 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 t-shirts and bomber jacks. For more info, head over to my website, arminvanbuuren.com. See you next week for a brand new episode.
Thanks for tuning in this week. If you want to listen to this episode again, surf to arminradio.com and please leave your vote for your favorite track of the past 2 hours on astateoftrance.com. A State of Trance will return next week.